Want to keep up with the latest LEGO Mega 96.1 videos? Make sure to subscribe and ring that bell. Hello everyone, LEGO Mega 96.1 here with another video. And welcome back to another On This Day in History. It was on this day in history, on October 1st of 1971 and 1982, the doors to the Magic Kingdom and the doors to Epcot, which is located in Walt Disney World, opened its doors. Now, if you know me and you know my channel, I love Disney. I mean, who doesn't? It is one of my favorite companies that's out there. They've basically made everything from rides to movies to cartoons, games, toys, basically everything. And I know, despite Disney's flaws, they're still a good company. I mean, without them, we wouldn't have Mickey Mouse, we wouldn't have Snow White, we wouldn't have the Disney parks, or the Disney cruise, and so on and so forth. But with that in mind, let's go over the history of what led up to the Magic Kingdom's and Epcot's creation. Now, due to the success of Disneyland, which opened in July of 1955, Walt Disney wanted to create an entirely new Walt Disney World. Yeah, it wasn't called Walt Disney World at the time, they were going to call it Disney World, because Walt was still around at the time, and he was heavily involved in the Florida project. It was there Walt and his company was secretly buying up land in Florida to build this new park. Originally, Walt Disney World was swampland. Yeah, all of that area in Florida in which Walt Disney World now stands was basically swampland. Yeah, they built over Shrek's home. Can you beat that? Now, although Walt was involved in the project, he wasn't there to see it through because on December 15th of 1966, Walt Disney died, and Roy took over the project. It was called the Florida Project at the time because Walt and his company were making duplicates of everything. And so that way, when the park opens, the rides will be ready, everything will be fully stocked, and everything would open up just like that. Now, you know that big hotel you saw near the park, the one where the monorail goes through? That's the Contemporary. That building was there on opening day in October of 71. It is that big building where the monorail goes through. In fact, if many of you saw how Disney built America, you actually saw how they build it. In those rooms which you saw inside the Contemporary, once they were completed, they slid right into the building to be installed. Talk about building a giant Lego set. Well, due to the success of the Magic Kingdom, they wanted to build another park. They wanted to focus on a park called Epcot. Now, this was Walt's idea, and he wanted to build a community of tomorrow. He called it Epcot. It's spelled EPCOT, and it stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. Now, it was there they would focus on not only a permanent world showcase, but they focused more on technology and how technology changed people over the years, and not just change people, but it talked about human evolution as a whole, from cavemen to modern day. Now, this right here, this is what Epcot was supposed to look like, because this was the concept of what Epcot was supposed to look like. But unfortunately, due to creative ideas, they got this. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind that, but it would be cool to see the actual Epcot of what Walt had in mind. Not that I'm complaining or anything. Now, this attraction you see here, this is Spaceship Earth. This was the landmark ride that you see as you enter the park. Now, that ride in particular, it talked about the evolution of man and the introduction of technology, of how people change over the years with the introduction of technology. Now, if you know me, I talk about my channel and my favorite Disney attractions. And one of the attractions I've been on was Journey into Imagination. I'm talking about the first incarnation with Dreamfinder and Figment and all that. I've been on that one. I'm not sure I've been on the second one because due to the controversy that surrounds the second incarnation. But I have been on the current incarnation of Journey into Imagination. It's not like the first one, but still, if they do manage to refurbish the ride, like give it the original touch like Dreamfinder, I would ride it with no problem. Now, what I mean by Dreamfinder is this guy right here. This is what he appeared in Journey into Imagination, the actual ride. Now, I myself have been on the attraction before, or in '97, and I have no recollection about it. But looking at old family footage of the ride, it's still an impressive attraction. Not just the creativity, but the music, the effects, and just this is what an imagination looked like. It is impressive. And like I said, if they do refurbish the attraction, I would love to see Dreamfinder again, hands down. Now, for my family in particular, we are a Disney family, and we've been going down to Disney for a couple of years now. And speaking of which, my mother's first time to Florida was in 1977, 6 years after the Magic Kingdom opened. She went down there with my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt, and my uncle. And they love it. And since then, and my mother brought my father down, and he loved it. Then he brought my older brother, and she brought my older brother down. He loved it, and I love it, and my younger brother loved it. And to this day, we love going to Disney. Now, oddly enough, I did some research, and my first time down to Florida was in '97, and my mother's first time was in '77, 1977. Hard to believe that was 20 years. Yeah, how crazy was that? 20 years. Now, as I said, I did talk about my favorite Disney rides in Walt Disney World. Now, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in the description below so that way you can see it. It is a really good video, and I worked so hard on it. And Disney has made a lot of interesting rides over the years, despite some flaws. And Epcot in particular has 11 countries, though I did learn over time that they were going to put in countries before they have the 11 countries that are represented. Now, the 11 countries that are represented in Epcot is Canada, the United Kingdom, France, Morocco, Japan, in the American Adventure Pavilion, and of course, was Italy, Germany, China, Norway, and of course, was Mexico. Now, I've only been to Japan, Germany, France, and Italy, and of course the American Adventure, which I did talk about the American Adventure in my favorite Disney attraction video, which talks about the history of America as a whole. Why? Because history is important. And those who don't know history are forever doomed to repeat it. But overall, Disney really is a wonderful place. And over time, you may notice some changes. Why? Well, Walt said the park would never be complete. As long as there is imagination in the world, and new innovations in technology, the park would be more beautiful. And I'm really, really hoping to see what more changes come to Disney. And I love to see many more rides and new experiences that come to Disney. Now, I myself seen a couple of videos on what happened in Splash Mountain with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And I gotta say, Tiana's Bayou Adventure looks impressive. I really want to see it. I just gotta save up a lot of this. But overall, the Magic Kingdom and of course Epcot is still stand strong even to this day. So, with that said, let's raise a glass or whatever cup you have to both Magic Kingdom and Epcot. To Magic Kingdom and Epcot, may you continue to grow and prosper for many years to come. Jindan. And that concludes today's video, my friends. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like this, including the many other videos that I've done on my channel, then please feel free to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell notifications so that way you can be notified when I upload the next video. And as always, this is LEGO Mega 961 signing off.